In today's video, I have to survive 100 days as a villager. And also, I have 3 objectives. First, get myself full enchanted diamond armor. Second, take out a woodland mansion. And finally, defeat the ender dragon. Can I survive 100 days as a villager in hardcore Minecraft? Watch the entire video to find out. Anyways, let the 100 days begin. So here we go, it's officially day 1, and I turned around and I found myself this chest. I opened it up and there was some apples, some torches, some sticks, and also some saplings. Very nice. So I headed outside to see what else I could find, and I found myself this birch tree, and I collected myself a few pieces of birch wood. Made myself a crafting table, and then I made myself a wooden pickaxe, and I was super happy. Then I went to go and explore the village. I wanted to see what else I could find. I came across this villager and he wanted to tell me something. He told me that only a small percentage of people that watch my videos are actually subscribed. So if you're going to enjoy this video, consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind later. But anyways, back to the video. So I collected myself a few pieces of hay right here and also came across this farmer. He was nice enough to give me some of his crops right here. So I collected myself a few pieces, came across this iron golem, and I came across this castle, and I found myself a brewing stand. So I came across this another house right here, and I found myself some potatoes and some saplings, and I kind of need to get some stone. Yeah, the villagers won't mind, surely. So I rushed back to my crafting table and I made myself a stone pickaxe. And now what I decided to do was to go exploring a little bit. I wanted to see what I could find. Found myself this little lake right here, and off in the distance I noticed there was some sugarcane. So I headed over there and collected myself a few pieces. And I also found myself this cave. Yeah, there was lava, so I had to be careful. So I made myself way down to the cave and I collected myself a few pieces of stone, and I noticed there was some iron. So I collected myself some. Then after that I headed out the caves and I made myself some stone tools. And then after that, I headed back to the village, and I thought I'd do a bit of trading with one of these villagers. So I did. Got myself this emerald. I was super happy. And sadly, it was already getting dark, so I headed back home. Went back to my home, and I went to sleep. So it's officially day 2, and now what I wanted to do was go and get myself some wood, because I want to make my very own farm. So I placed in a few logs, placed in a few fences, and I also made myself a bit of a gate right here. And after that, I flattened up all the ground, placed in some potatoes, and also I wanted to make myself a bit of a sugarcane farm right here. Nothing special, but it'll do for now. Then later on that day, what I decided to do was to go exploring. I wanted to see what I could find, and I found myself this another village. And for some reason, these villagers are like staring at this roof for some reason. But anyways, I collected myself some berries and also some pumpkins as well. Then I entered this house and I found myself another chest with some useful loot. But anyways, after that I headed back home. Day 3 to 5 I made myself some iron tools, and I now wanted to go to the caves and I wanted to find myself some materials. So I found myself this cave and I found myself loads of iron. This was amazing. And I also found this another cave. So I went to go investigate, and what I decided to do was to make myself a shield. There was quite a few mobs and I needed to keep safe. And then I found myself some lapis. I couldn't believe it. And then as I turned the corner, there it was, diamonds. I couldn't believe it. So I collected myself a few diamonds, and after that I found myself this mine shaft. It wasn't too much really, just a few cobwebs. Nothing special. But anyways, it is now time to head home. So I made myself a way up and I went home. So I got home and smelted up all the stuff that I collected, like my iron and gold, and as well I made myself a diamond pickaxe. Day 6 I chopped down a few more trees, cleared out a bit of a space right here, and I started work on a bit of a cow farm. So I placed in a few logs, also placed in some birch fences right here, and I also made myself a few paths. And now I needed to go out and get some cows. Luckily there was some nearby, so I went over there, collected the cows, and finally I brought them back to their new home. Day 7 I made myself a iron door because these villagers kept coming into my home, and as well I made myself a full set of iron armor and also some tools as well. And after that I did a bit more farming, harvested up all the potatoes and carrots, and also I harvested up all my sugarcane farm as well. And as well I wanted to make myself a bit of a tree farm right here, so I cleared out a bit of space and made myself a very simple tree farm. And there it is, very simple. So I made myself a few more paths right here because I wanted to make it look a lot neater. Day 8, I wanted to venture out a bit and see what I could find, and I found myself this nether portal, and I also collected myself some obsidian as well. I kind of need this for a nether portal, so I collected myself a few pieces, and I also collected myself a few dark oak logs as well, because I might use these for future builds. Day 9, I placed in a bunch of dirt right here, chopped down a few more trees, And day 10 to 16, I now wanted to work on my very own home. And also placing some stone brick slabs right here to give it a bit more detail. Placing a few lanterns as well, which looks very nice. Placing a few pieces of glass and also some chests as well. And I also decided to give a bit of support as well right here. And there it is. Our home is pretty much complete. Wow, it looks amazing. Day 17, I did a bit more farming. And now I wanted to make the Nether portal. So I did. Placed in all the obsidian, lit it up, and I went through. Got through to the other side. There wasn't much really, just a typical Nether. So for the next couple of days I went exploring and I found myself this bastion. And I also came across this gold block. And then I found myself this chest, which has some very nice loot. And in seconds I was swarmed by all the piglins. So I had to make a run for it. Yeah, this was not good at all. Piglin made it around the side, hit me and did serious damage. Then I fell and I was on a half a heart. I panicked. So I ran for my life. Luckily, I was able to get away just in time. Wow, that was close. But anyways, I found myself this another chest right here, and it had some very nice loot. Even better, I came across these two other chests as well. I couldn't believe it. So I opened up the chest and I found myself this diamond pickaxe. Then after that, I left the bastion and I came across this Nether fortress. Made myself a way up right here, and I wanted to go and collect myself some blaze rods. So I did. I thought of some blazes, collected myself a few blaze rods. And after that, I wanted to go explore the fortress a bit. And I found myself some nether wart right here and also some soul sand. So I collected myself some. I would need this. And now it is time to head home. Day 24, I finally get home, and what I decided to do now was to make myself a bit of a nether wart farm right here. So I did, placing some nether warts, and there it is. The nether wart farm is done. And I also did a bit more farming right here, harvesting up all the potatoes. Day 25, I wanted to go exploring a bit more. So I went out, and to my surprise, there it was, a pillager outpost. I couldn't believe it. And I also found myself these targets right here. And then, as I looked to my side, there it was. A pillager. I couldn't believe it. So I fought him. And then after that, I went inside the outpost. And there was a few more. So I took care of them as well. Made it up to the top, and I found myself this chest, which had some okay loot, honestly. So I made myself a way down from the outpost, and I couldn't believe it. There was so many more pillagers, so I did my best to take them all out. There were so many. So I left the outpost, and I came across the leader. So I fought him, and I headed home. And as I was heading home, I couldn't believe it. I just started a raid. This was really bad. And in seconds, pillagers were everywhere. But luckily, the Iron Golem had it under control. He seemed to take them out very easily. Then, as I was heading back home, I looked to my left, and there it was. There were so many pillagers. So I ran back to the Iron Golems, and I fought off some of the pillagers. And then, as I was helping the Iron Golems take out the pillagers, I was hit by this axe, which did some serious damage. I couldn't believe how much damage that did. But after a few swings, I was able to take him out. That was really close. So I took out the last pillager, and there it is. The raid has been complete. Day 27, I wanted to make myself a bit of a mine right here. So I wanted to make this go a ways down. So it took a little bit of time. So I continued mining in a straight line, and I found myself this cave. And to my surprise, there was a mine shaft right here. I could not believe it at all. So I continued to explore some of the caves right here, and I found myself a diamond. So I went over there to go and collect it. And also I collected myself a few more pieces of obsidian. I would need this for the enchantment table. And I went home and made myself some books. And also I made myself the enchantment table. Went outside to go and place it in. And yeah, there it is. We finally have the enchantment table. So I just placed in a few stone bricks right here to give it a bit more detail. And I also wanted to make myself a bit of a wall right here. And of course I got to add a few leaves around as well. Day 32, I now wanted to go on an adventure. So I headed out. So I came across this another village, and I collected myself a few pieces of hay, and also found myself this another castle, and I found myself another brewing stand. So I continued my adventure to see what I could find, and yeah, more pillagers. So I fought them and easily took them out. So I found myself this ruins nether portal, and I found myself this gold block. So I collected it. As I got up this hill, I couldn't believe it. A jungle. I was super happy. So I collected myself a few cocoa beans, and also some jungle wood as well. And also I found myself some bamboo. This was amazing. Even better, I found myself some melons. I was so happy. And then I came across this bamboo forest. Yeah, there's a lot of bamboo here. And then to my surprise, there it was, a jungle temple. So I went to go and investigate. So I entered the jungle and I found myself this creeper. Yeah, that was close. But sadly, there wasn't any good loot. But I did find myself this diamond horse armor, which is quite cool, I guess. So I continued exploring and to my surprise, there it was, another jungle temple. And once again, wouldn't you know it, not very good loot at all. So I left. But I came across this parrot. So what I decided to do was to tame him. I now finally had a friend. I was so happy. Then finally, on day 40, we finally arrive home. Wow, it's nice to be home. So I went back home and made myself a few pieces of bread because I was kind of low on food and I needed a way of getting food and I kind of needed bread because bread's a good food source. Day 41, I wanted to now make myself a bit of a rune stand area. Used some cobblestone for the flooring and also made a little area for the rune stand to go right here. And I also did a bit more decorating around and a few stone walls right here. So I placed in a few chests for storage. Then after that, I made myself a few fire resistant potions. This was amazing. Day 42, I now wanted to make myself a bit of a bamboo farm. So I cleared out a bit of space right here and I made myself a very simple bamboo farm. So now I wanted to spend the next couple of days finding myself some diamonds. Found myself this cave, which is pretty cool. And then there it was. Diamonds. So I headed over there to go and collect them. But I needed a lot more diamonds if I wanted to make myself a full set of diamond armor. So I just spent the next couple of days collecting myself loads of diamonds. And then finally, I now have enough diamonds, so I headed back home. So I went back home, made myself this diamond tower right here, and I mined all the diamonds up. Got myself loads of diamonds. This was amazing. So I went back indoors and made myself a full set of diamond armor and also some tools. This was amazing. I now had diamond armor. I was super happy. And as well, I did a bit more farming, just collected myself a few more potatoes. And as well, I actually wanted to get myself a pet horse. And luckily, there was a horse right here, so I tamed him. This was amazing. I now had a pet horse. So I needed a place for this horse to go. So I made him his very own home. Day 50, I did a bit more farming, and then I noticed all the villagers. They was gone. I searched absolutely everywhere for these villagers, but all the villagers were gone. This was sad. But there was one villager left, and all I had to do was to make myself a villager farm. So I did a bit more decorating right here, and the next couple of days I worked on a villager farm. Used a bunch of stone bricks right here, and I had to dig out a massive space, which took quite a bit of time, honestly. But luckily after a bit of time I got that all done, placed in a bunch more stone bricks right here, also made the villagers their very own farm right here, and as well I had to make myself loads of beds, so I had to go out and get myself loads of wool. So I found myself loads of sheep, so I went home and made myself too many beds right here, but that was okay. I placed in all the beds after that in, and all I had to do now was to go and get some villagers. So I went back to that other village and I collected myself this villager. Then finally, I was able to get the villager to his new home. And as well, I was able to transfer the second one as well. And the village farm is pretty much done. Gave some of the villagers some food and they was very happy. And as well, the villager farm seems to work. So I gave the villager a farming job right here and he traded potatoes. I was so happy. So I got all my potatoes and I traded with the villager. I kind of forgot about the enchantment table. I need to get myself loads of books. But first, I have to go and get myself some ender eyes. So I headed back to the Nether, collected myself a few ender pearls from the enderman. And yeah, this took a little bit of time, honestly, to go and get myself enough ender pearls. And after that, I went home and made myself some eyes of ender. I was super happy. So I threw the eye of ender and now I wanted to go and find the stronghold. So me and my horse, we headed out to go and find the stronghold. And finally, on day 62, we finally found the stronghold. Fought off a few mobs right here. There was quite a few skeletons, honestly. But luckily, I was able to take them out very easily. I also found myself this chest right here, which had some very good loot. Then finally, on day 63, I finally found the library. So I collected myself loads of books. I made sure to collect plenty of these books because I'll need these for the enchantment table. And then, as I was exploring the stronghold, there it was, the end portal. I couldn't believe it. So I placed in a few eyes of ender, and yeah, we only need 2 more. But anyways, it is now time to head home. So I made myself a way up, and I went back to my horse, and we went home. Day 65, we finally arrive home. So what I decided to do was to place in all the bookshelves now, and there it is. The enchantment room is now done. Then after that, I just did a bit of enchanting on some of my armor. Got myself protection 4, which was amazing. And I also got myself power 4 on my bow as well. But sadly, I did not have enough levels. So I went back to the Nether and collected myself loads more levels. So I went home, enchanted my sword, and I got myself a sharpness 4. This was amazing. Fortune 3 pickaxe, protection 3 leggings, and there it is. We finally did it. We finally got a full set of enchanted diamond armor. So after that, I went back to the villager farm and gave the villagers some jobs. And now I wanted to make myself a bigger potato farm right here. Placed in a bunch of fences and also flattened up the ground. This took a little time, but after a bit of time, I was able to get it all done. Day 72, I just made some more paths. And as well, I wanted to get myself a Woodland Mansion map. So I had to do a lot of trading with all the villagers and stuff to get myself loads of emeralds. And finally, I was able to get myself a Woodland Explorer map. So I got myself the Woodland map, and yeah, all I had to do now was to go and find it. But before I do that, I wanted to harvest up all my potatoes right here. So I did. Got myself loads of potatoes, and I did a bunch of trading with all the villagers. And I also bought myself some apples. So it's now time to go and take out the Woodland Mansion. So I headed out in search of the Woodland Mansion. So I travelled for days, and finally, after a bit of time, there it was, the mansion. So I made myself a way around the mansion right here, found myself the entrance, and I fought off some pillagers. As I went up these stairs, I couldn't believe it, there was like 3 pillagers right here. But I was okay, and I easily took them out. So I turned this corner, and there he was, the evoker. So I had to take him out the quickest I could. And there it is, I got myself the token of undying. Even worse, I turned this corner, and there was a creeper right here. I was hit by these pillagers, and I panicked. And then they got me down to half a heart. This was bad. So I left the room, and I took out all these Vex right here. And there it is. We did it. We took out all the evokers, and we got ourselves a token of undying. But there was one more thing to do, to set all the place on fire. Yeah, I don't think the pillagers are gonna like me after this. And yeah, wow, this place went up in flames very quick. Day 89, I finally arrived home. Did a bit of trading with some of the villagers right here, and also bought myself some pumpkin pie. Went back to Nether and got myself a few more blaze rods right here. I kind of needed a few of these. Day 90, I travel home. I get home and make myself a very simple melon farm right here. And to finish off the day, I wanted to make some potions. Day 91 to 95, I wanted to find myself a few diamonds because all my armor was about to break and I needed to repair it all. So I collected myself loads of diamonds. So I went home, made myself a few more pickaxes right here, enchanted them as well. And then I repaired all my armor. And there it is, our armor is now fully repaired. And I also made myself a few more eyes of ender. And I also made my pet parrot a little bed area right here. It is now time. It is now time to go and defeat the Ender Dragon. So I collected all the things I needed in my chest, said goodbye to my parrot, and I headed out. So here we go, it is now time to go and take out the Ender Dragon, and there it was. The first thing I had to do was to go and take out all these end crystals. The Ender Dragon was not happy whatsoever. So then I proceeded to take out all the end crystals. And as I took out this end crystal, there it was, the Ender Dragon charging at me. I had to run. It is now time to do damage to the Ender Dragon. So I had my strength potion and I went in with a sword attack. So I used my bow to do serious damage to the Ender Dragon and I was flung forwards a bit. But luckily I was okay. Had a golden apple and it was now time to finish this. Took my final swing and there it was. The Ender Dragon has been defeated. We did it. Wow. So I gathered up all the XP, and I also wanted to get myself the dragon egg as well. So I did. And there it is. We did it. And then after that, I went back home. So I was chopping down some trees and I noticed there was a pig and I wanted to keep him as a friend. So I did. So I brought him to my home and there it is. We have a pet pig. So then I just flattened up a bit more ground because I wanted to use this area right here for the dragon egg. So I added a few quartz around and also added some emerald blocks right here, which looked very nice. And I also added a few pieces of birch wood around. And all we had to do now was to place in the dragon egg. Wow. There it is. We did it. And there it is, day 100. Wow, we finally survived 100 days as a villager. Wow, what an adventure this has been. But anyway guys, this is where our journey ends. 100 days as a villager. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all next time. Peace out.